Oh, hello, vinyl community and honky tonkers from Texas to Thailand. It's Jacob coming to you from the Dallas Open Micer YouTube channel. The response video to a video I saw on the iHonyTonk channel a couple months back. Ryan over there had been talking about 10 overlooked, underappreciated traditional male country music artists. And while that was a lot of fun, I don't think there's enough content like that out there on YouTube, and that'll be a good time to add my own 2 cents to the conversation. And well, if nobody else is interested in this, I'll enjoy hearing myself talk. Now, before I get started with showing records, I do want to say one of my favorite things about coming across this channel has been, the delightful conversations down in the comments section. A fellow by the name of Cisco Duck has been sharing a lot of interesting country music knowledge and trivia with me, and I'll pass some of that on to you in this video. Well, without further ado, let's begin the show. So the first artist I'm going to talk about here is not Bob Wills. Now, this artist that I want to share recorded with Bob Wills, was a touring member of Bob's band, but gotta say, and something I mentioned before on my channel, we cannot assume that Bob Wills is a household name, not even here in Texas. I was shocked about 5 years ago, having a conversation with a middle-aged gentleman at work, a man in his mid-40s, a native Texan, who had no idea who Bob Wills was, which I thought was a shame. And it's the kind of world we live in today. I hate to burst your bubble if you were looking out at the world through rose-colored glasses. So anybody that was a side man in Bob Wills' outfit, certainly not a household name. And well, some of these guys were certainly worth talking about. So the fellow that I want to talk about was a member of Bob Wills' band, toured with him and recorded with him. But he decided to get off the road and became a studio musician. He recorded on this Merle Haggard record that was a tribute to Bob Wills, and has helped get the public interested in Western swing music again. Fantastic record. As an A-lister in Nashville, he recorded on a lot of my favorite classic country albums from the time. This one right here, this Leon Russell album where he's performing as Hank Wilson, got some heat infused in it by this gentleman's contribution to the song Jambalaya. Eventually, this fella decided he wanted to get out of Nashville, go back home to Texas, be closer to the Texas family. And this fella Texan here gave him an offer. Hey, you can record on my records. And so this artist was a frequent collaborator with Willie Nelson, also briefly toured with him around the Honeysuckle Rose era and appeared in that movie. There's another overlooked fellow these days, Webb Pierce. Well, this artist was still in high demand, even though he tried to get off the road and get away from all the hustle and bustle of Nashville. Was a regular at George Strait's recording sessions, and often found himself getting in a plane and flying to session gigs. So the artist I'm talking about is none other than the great Texas fiddler Johnny Gimbel. This album here is Johnny's major label solo debut, features his signature tune, Fiddlin' Around, and also has liner notes and appearances by Merle Haggard. Johnny Gimbel was a in-demand session musician throughout the remainder of his career, but he also continued to record his own projects. This one's on the fantastic CMH label that Johnny would record through until his final album. This one here is a 2-disc set of good old Texas swing with a lot of the old Texas swing legends joining him in the studio. Fantastic record. These CMH records you can often find quite cheap. Now, Johnny Gimbel was also probably the first place I ever heard him. He was a regular player on Prairie Home Companion, and Garrison Keillor even wrote a song about him. Now, Cisco Duck had given me a hot tip on a Prairie Home Companion episode with Johnny Gimbel. Cisco was a lucky enough duck to attend a show November 23rd, 1985 at Bridges Auditorium at the Claremont Colleges in California. This particular episode of Prairie Home Companion that you can find archived online featured Chet Atkins and Willie Nelson, along with Johnny Gimbel and a fantastic mariachi band outside of Los Angeles. So if you're looking for great entertainment, the likes of which you'll probably never hear again, look for Prairie Home Companion, November 23rd, 1985, Claremont, California, and you'll be delighted. This record here I've shown on the channel before. It features Johnny Gimbel along with Chet Atkins and Emmylou Harris on Prairie Home Companion. Now, Cisco Duck shared some hot tips he got from his pal Johnny Gimbel. Over the years, Johnny Gimbel was a fan of jazz violin, and well, my favorite jazz violin player, Joe Venuti, reminds me a lot of Johnny Gimbel's playing, just the joy and the emotion that comes out. With this album here, I picked up on eBay recently. We got Joe Venuti and George Barnes playing together on this album called Gems. Don't judge this one by its cover. It's a terrific feast for the ears. Got another hot tip from Johnny Gimbel through Cisco Duck to check out this album here. Again, this kind of jazz. It's what you would call cheap heat. Not a lot of demand for it, but my goodness gracious! Again, we have the great pairing of a jazz violin player with a hot guitar player, and the sound is a treat. This is the great Stuff Smith with the great Herb Ellis. What do we have next? Oh, another artist I was able to learn more about through Cisco Duck's friendship with him was this artist here, not Elvis, but an artist that I had first heard through Elvis, a country music A-lister, a Nashville A-lister that's probably best known for rock and roll, but he was playing on records that I really enjoyed without even knowing who he was. On this Elvis compilation, the track that always stood out to me was A Fool Such As I always thought it was Scotty Moore, but Scotty and Elvis had parted ways by that time. Well, a few hours ago, a couple of the tracks that I enjoy on this album I saw being shared on a video by Madam Sin. The guitar riff on Little Sister came from this gentleman, and also the guitar work on his latest Flame, two Elvis favorites. And then that guitar player was all over this record here. You probably know that I'm talking about Hank Garland. This is a fantastic jazz album that Hank Garland recorded. Has Joe Morello from the Dave Brubeck Quartet. This was shortly after the Brubeck Quartet reached their peak fame with Time Out. And we also have a young up-and-comer on vibes, Gary Burton, a fantastic jazz record. It's, again, some more glorious jazz guitar. Now, here's some jazzy country guitar here. I also really enjoy this. These early Chet Atkins records just are a lot of fun to hear. But I'm not going to be talking about Chet Atkins. The artist that I want to talk about is the artist that I first saw when I was searching for this artist, and that's how I stumbled across the iHonyTonk channel. Now, Chet Atkins was a big fan of this artist, took his sound from him, and also admired the guy so much that he named his daughter after him. I've also heard that Doc Watson named his son after this man. Of course, the irony is that this fella, this guitar legend, is best known for writing this song for Tennessee Ernie Ford. Great song, not a bad legacy. I am talking about Merle Travis, who early in his career was a member of this little country music supergroup, the Browns Ferry Four, gospel outfit. These guys all met while performing on the same radio station together. This is a super instrumental album. This is a repress. Sounds fantastic in mono. And then here's a record that was shared on the iHonyTonk channel in some depth. This Travis record there. It's a remarkable piece of honky-tonk. We've got Merle Travis's guitar backed up with Curly Chalker on steel, and this is some honky-tonk heaven right there. Sounds a lot like Hank Thompson. Merle Travis had been a member of Hank Thompson's band for a while. But I do prefer Merle Travis's vocals, especially when it comes to pronouncing the S sound. That sibilance in Hank Thompson's pronunciation I found to be quite a distraction. Got another appearance of the CMH label. This is Merle Travis's final record. It's a posthumous release from the mid-'80s. Rough, Rowdy, and Blue. Gets a little bit bluesy, a little bit body. It's a lot of fun, and it sounds fantastic. All right, let's highlight another guitar player. Here's an artist I can find in the clearance bins of half-price books. Bud Tutmark. This is Hawaiian steel gospel. The country gospel and steel guitar playing often overlaps quite a bit. If you saw the iHonyTonk video talking about top 10 steel guitar country albums, the album Refreshing Melodies with Alvino Ray and Ralph Carmichael was featured. And this is a similar affair. It's also on the Sacred label. Ralph Carmichael was kind of like the Nelson Riddle of gospel albums, and he also recorded on the Word label as well. But this one here, he tapped Bud Tutmark to collaborate with him, and it was a fantastic pairing. Got another artist that's he's not somebody that's lost his legacy or place in country music when it comes to talking about his importance in the books, but when it comes to the value of his records or the demand that they're in from the public, he's overlooked. This guy, he's often in the clearance bins, and then when you find him in the regularly priced record bins, you can find these things generally for $5 or less, and they're absolutely terrific records. You want to go with the mono recordings or the mono releases? The mono represses from the 50s and 60s sound incredible, and stay away from the fake stereo stuff. And a beautiful thing from the clearance shelves. This one's gotten shared a bit recently in the vinyl community or over the past few years, but again, this is one I've been able to find in the clearance bins. Another artist, another legend that is largely forgotten these days, Lefty Frizzell, the second greatest country music artist to come from Corsicana. This album here originally had been a 10-inch pressing, or been a smaller release, but this, which commands a good sticker price these days, but this 12-inch expanded issue on Harmony from around 1960, you can still find cheaper than a new record if you want to order it online, or if you find it in a record shop, it's probably going to be much less. Sounds incredible. Now, Lefty was a big seller in the 1950s, but even then, like a lot of country artists, he didn't get to put out a full-length album until later in his career. This didn't come out until 1959, his first full 12-inch press release, but that's a crying shame. It's a great album, but they did re-record for this, which was totally unnecessary. Here's an album that, well, if you're not into rockabilly, you might not be familiar with. I was not familiar with Wanda Jackson until I was in my 30s, which, well, shame on me, I suppose. But she wasn't getting played on the radio, and no one was ever telling me about her. Now, for people who are in the rockabilly world, this is something that is desirable. I was able to get this cheap because it was scuffed. Still sounds good because the scratches weren't deep, but for those of us who might be normies out there when it comes to this sort of thing, it could be off the radar. But even with someone that knows who Wanda Jackson is, or fans, a lot of times they'll overlook and ignore stuff like this that came on a little bit later, or came out a little bit later. It's a little bit more countrypolitan. She does have a hotter side on this one. This is we're showcasing her ballad side and her rocker side. Still terrific stuff, but the demand goes down, which really is a shame because it's good stuff. And then this kind of stuff just goes straight to clearance these days. The gospel records, the Southern Gospel Wanda. The hair certainly is bigger, but it's still Wanda Jackson. This one's on the Word label. They did a great job of snapping up a lot of country artists who were past their prime, past their commercial peak. They recorded with Johnny Cash, Ray Price, with Tennessee Ernie Ford, and with Burl Ives, if you want to throw folk in there. But for those people who might be country music snobs, this was recorded at Jack Clement's studio, and it has the red hot steel guitar of Weldon Myrick on there. Good stuff. Next up, got this Ray Price record, the Cherokee Cowboys, and the person I want to talk about on this one is the drummer. And the drummer for Ray Price was also the drummer on this Willie Nelson record. And that drummer was in this little super group with Willie Nelson. The drummer I'm talking about is Johnny Bush, my favorite country music singer. Also in this band, we have David Zettner and Jimmy Day on steel guitar. Hard to believe that this band didn't go anywhere. Shocking, isn't it? Now, Johnny Bush, his first record was produced by Willie Nelson. We have Jimmy Day and Buddy Emmons appear on here, and we also have Johnny Gimbel. Of course, I forgot to mention Johnny Gimbel also played on this album. Now, Johnny Bush is best remembered today for the song he wrote, Whiskey River, which became Willie Nelson's opener. It also appeared on this album from 1973. This is perhaps my favorite Honky Tonk album. This one also has Johnny Gimbel playing on this one, and the aforementioned red hot steel guitar playing of Weldon Myrick. Now, not long after this was put out and Whiskey River was becoming a hit, Johnny Bush's voice failed him. He has or had spasmodic dysphonia, which is the same vocal condition that makes RFK Jr. have that croak. It's not something that lends itself well to you if you're a singer, but Johnny Bush was able to rehab and recover, and he had some help along the way in getting back in the swing of things. Dale Watson, was signed to Donna, but I found it at Half Price Books in the clearance bin. Was a big fan and friend, and Johnny Bush appears on this album. And their Austin-based outfit here, Cornell Hurd, they played with Johnny Bush as well. So good stuff. And then, let's go for one more. And by 2001, Johnny Bush's comeback was back in the swing of things here. This is an album that features a re-recording of Green Snakes. All right, moving along here, I'll show an artist that, again, I first learned about through Elvis Presley. I'm talking about my favorite country artist of all time here. And this country artist was invited to appear on this record, and well, he turned it down, and he was wanting to please his wife, who didn't like the outlaw image here, and thought he could have some peace at home if he took a pass on this one. Probably was a mistake, but this fella did have a lot of respect from some of the heavy hitters in country music in the early 70s. As a matter of fact, everybody in the Highwaymen did record his music, as well as, his music appears on this. His pal Robert Duvall sings one of his songs on that one. And you can hear his music on another Friends album. This the great Norm Macdonald features the music of this artist to start this album off. Dale Watson sings about him on this one. He's the hero that Willie Nelson sings about here. He's the poet of Motel 6 that Kinky Friedman sings about here. He was also Kinky's spiritual advisor when Kinky ran for governor. And the person I'm talking about is Billy Joe Shaver, the greatest country artist to ever live. All right, next up, I just got a few to go. We could be getting this thing done in under 30. All right. Got this fella here, Marjo Gortner. Marjo is a combination of Mary and Joseph. Marjo was a child evangelist in the 1940s. His parents were con artists, and they trained Marjo to fleece people at tent meetings. Marjo retired from the gospel circuit, or the tent preaching circuit, but got back out on the road in the early 70s to to film this documentary film where he showed all the tricks of the con artist tent revival preachers. But one thing you learn if you watch that video is that, well, Marjo did like to sing, and he recorded this fantastic country record. If you're ever going to judge an album by its cover, don't judge this one by its cover, because as bad as this cover is, that's how good this record is. Now, Marjo, he starts off with an incredible cover of Thomas Jefferson Kay's Ho Bus. He covers some Willis Allen Ramsey and Bob Dylan. Good stuff. You can hear some of this on YouTube if you're not familiar with it, and then find yourself a copy of this cheap. I've got a record here. This is the one I've got on the turntable right now. This was a blind buy for me, Mary McCaslin. Absolute incredible record. I couldn't pass up on this cover when I saw it. And starts off with an amazing version of Pass Me By, If You're Only Passing Through. That was on Johnny Rodriguez's first record. I think she did an even better job. Here's another artist that I discovered in the clearance bins. Came across this record. I had no idea who Narvel Feltz was, but seeing this face, kind of looks like Eugene Levy, but I couldn't not want to hear what this sounded like. And I was familiar with the Power Pack label. It was used to reissue Johnny Bush's Stop records. The pressing quality on this is terrible, but there was something special that came through in the vocals, and kept buying more Narvel Feltz records. And if there's one to hear, I'd recommend this one. Now, Narvel did start out as a rockabilly artist, and those records are harder to find. But if you want to find a good one for cheap, this one here where he sings "Reconsider Me" is a great place to start. And I think Narvel Feltz is another vocalist that can blow George Jones out of the water when it comes to singing. All right, we've got my final record, and well, this fella sure doesn't look like a country music artist, but if you take a look at that right there, it's CMH Country Music Heritage right there, the label that keeps popping up in this video. Jim Silvers was from Chicago, and he was a relation of Sid Nathan of King Records, and had his run of the place as a youngster, and he gravitated more towards the country music than the soul music, and he was sort of an accidental country artist. He had been a photographer of adult materials in Los Angeles before finding himself out in Nashville, taking photos of stars at the Grand Ole Opry, and just kind of fell into songwriting, and ended up putting out this fantastic record. It's a lot of fun. It's a little bit bawdy, a little bit rowdy, but a great listen. And he wound up being a producer at CMH, and he's known for doing things like putting out the Bluegrass Van Halen album, but he was a producer on Johnny Gimbel's final album, which it's another feast for the ears. Got some incredible guest stars: Jason Roberts, Vince Gill, Merle Haggard, Willie Nelson, Dale Watson, Emily Gimbel, so that's nepotism, I suppose, Ray Benson, and Jesse Dayton. And then Garrison Keillor closes this thing out with a song that he wrote for Johnny Gimbel. Not a great song, but a nice little novelty to cap a fantastic album. Well, we're hitting the 30-minute mark here. If you made it to the end, well, thank you. Happy spinning, everybody.